Hi friends, it's Heidi Stevens here. Welcome to Drop Into the Vortex, where conversations about up-leveling your frequency, reaching your next level, feeling alive, and manifesting with more ease are happening. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a serial entrepreneur, I am a spiritual teacher and leader, and I am here juggling all the hats right along with you, creating our next level life and showing you how to do it on the way. Welcome, let's go. Hey, friends, we are back for another episode on the podcast and here on YouTube, and I am so excited to be diving into this topic today. So we are going to dive in to this description and really explanation of conscious manifesting versus ego manifesting. And the reason why I am feeling called to talk about this is because in this online world, in this world of Instagram and people, just a lot, right? There's a lot of noise. And the reality is that the word manifesting is very sexy. It has a kind of connotation, or I think it brings forward an idea of, well, can I just sit in lotus pose and or lay in shavasana in my yoga class or in a meditation and meditate and or become a master of my thoughts to the point of I can call in that which I desire without having to do any work? Can I just make the thing that I want appear? And look, everybody wants that. Everyone wants to become a master, I think, of their universe. And the interesting thing is the answer, I do believe, is partly yes. Partly yes. That is 100% true, that you have an ability to focus so clearly on your vibration, on your frequency, on your being a master of your body, your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, and your actions, that you can literally draw to you the things that you want, the opportunities, the experiences, the feelings of freedom, the feelings of abundance, and the experiences of true joy. Now, the challenge becomes when we are desiring the things that we want from our ego mind versus our conscious mind. They most likely will not ever happen and or take much, much, much longer for them to manifest, aka come into physical world reality. So, the more that I've been thinking about what is it that I do and how do I serve and who are the women that I want to work with and who is my tribe, and just, doing that inner work and asking deeper questions of myself, which those of you that have been on this journey with me for a while know that this is my path. Like, I am a seeker. This is who I am and what I do. I have been doing this now for 20 years. I have my master's in spiritual psychology. I am constantly seeking out new ways to evolve and to learn and to better myself and to then teach and coach that to the women in my communities and my groups. I have just gotten more and more clear that I am really here to support women in elevating their consciousness, in elevating their frequencies, they're elevating their vibrations. And the byproduct of doing that work is that you manifest in physical world reality with more ease. But it starts with the inner work, as most of you know, especially those of you that have been on this path with me for a while. And the seeds are planted, the elevation happens, the inner work occurs, And then the things that we think we want from an ego's perspective start to manifest. So let's break this down a little bit more. For those of you that need a refresher, or that this would just be supportive for, the ego is that part of our brain that wants to keep us safe. It's that part of ourselves that really acts from the first chakra. The first chakra meaning the part that needs to have familiar ties, that needs to feel rooted, that needs to know that we have a roof over our heads and that we have safety and structure and basic needs met. The ego is not bad. There is no need to desire to eradicate the ego. Or completely eradicate it. No, the ego serves a purpose. The ego is also very I focused. It is focused on your needs. It is focused on making sure that you are taken care of, right? From a developmental perspective, kids until about the age that they are 6 or 7 years old are pretty much completely egocentric. Like they can really only see like me. And we need that. We need that for our own survival, and we need that for our own security. But there comes a time that the ego is only playing out what it knows, meaning it is basing its beliefs and its thoughts and its actions and its emotions off of what it knows, off of the previous patterns. And so if you think about it, as we're developing and we're growing, left to our own devices, we are just replaying the same patterns over and over and over and over again. And so unless you are taking dominion and having a higher level of consciousness and a higher level of awareness to how you're thinking and how you're feeling and what you're believing and the actions that you're taking, left to our own devices, we are simply playing out the patterns of the past. And our ego is so tricky because it ultimately wants us to survive. It ultimately wants us to be okay. And there's good reason for that, right? Like we picked up survival techniques along the way in order to make sure that not only did we survive, but that we felt like we got the love that we needed. We felt like we had the money that we needed. We felt like we, had the relationships that kept us safe. And now I know if you're listening to this podcast, you are on a path of I desire more. I desire higher connection. I desire more ease. I desire no longer being in survival. And I want to feel like I'm thriving. I want to feel like I'm experiencing joy. I want to feel like I'm experiencing new levels of consciousness inside of myself. And so welcome. You are 100% in the right place. And that requires a decision to elevate your frequency, to elevate your consciousness, and to choose to manifest with more of a conscious perspective than an ego perspective. So let me break this down for you. The definition of consciousness is the state of being awake. I love this so much. The state of being awake and aware of one's surroundings. Another definition was having knowledge of something. And the reality is that a lot of the higher realms and the 4D and 5D realities, the knowledge of this is not something that you can see from the human's eye. And so in order to have a consciousness and to be awake and to be aware at a higher perspective, there is a real trust and a real faith. And this is where spirituality comes into this process of conscious manifesting. There's a trust of something greater than yourself. There's a trust of, higher energies and a vortex and a awareness and a direct feeling. And I know that some of you listening are like, yep, I know that feeling. I know that higher awareness. I see it when I go out and look at the ocean. I feel it when I'm in nature. I have experienced it in certain meditations. It's this deeper awareness. You can call it whatever you want: universe, spirit, source, divine mother, Buddha, Krishna, Jesus, God, source, creator of all. At the core, they are all the same. They are all pure consciousness of love. And they all have the ability to infiltrate, to come in to every single one of us at any given point. And I know that this kind of path that we are on to elevate our consciousness and to do this dance with the physical plane. So this is what I mean by this, right? It's like we have this higher awareness, we have this higher consciousness, we have this other plane that we can tap into, these universal energies. And then we have our humanness and we have our 3D reality. And we get to experience both because we're here and we're in human form. And this manifesting is this beautiful dance. It's this beautiful dance of both of the upper worlds and our human worlds, of 5D reality and 3D reality, of higher consciousness, of feeling safe, of being in our ego. And this is the human experience. This is the human experience. This is how we grow and begin elevating our consciousness, elevating our frequency. At the core, when I talk about conscious manifesting, this is about aligning with a higher vibration, aligning with a higher frequency, because it is all vibration and it is all frequency. Every single thing is vibrating at a certain frequency, and you can't fool the universe. You cannot fool the universe. So when somebody says, I've been doing the things, Heidi, that is from an ego mind, right? We think, well, once we do the Embody Your Future Self meditation, and once we say what we want, and once we write it down enough times, and once we say our affirmations, I can't tell you the number of friends, especially earlier on in my days teaching this, that women would come, friends of mine, and be like, but Heidi, I'm doing all the things. And I even got this question asked yesterday in one of my coaching groups. It was like, I'm doing all the things from a health perspective. Why am I still experiencing this health challenge? Or why am I still experiencing not having the love of my life come in? Because doing the things doesn't really matter. This is about a vibration. This is about a point of reference. And while there are tools and techniques and perspectives and an entire perspective shift that you can use to support your vibration to align higher, to support yourself elevating your consciousness, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter about what you do. It matters on who you be, on how you are. And it's that alignment that begins to manifest. It's that alignment. It doesn't matter if you're doing a million things or sitting in Shavasana or laying, down, that the universe begins to respond. So I know that this might be a little bit challenging for the cognitive mind to understand, but if there's some part of you that's like, yes, I hear you. Yes, I do understand what you're saying. This is a process. Okay. This is a process. It is honestly, like it is ongoing work. And it's not like, oh, poof, like you do the thing and, the genie just appears with the three things and your wish is granted. It is work. It takes tools. It takes a commitment. It takes a willingness to go up the soul line. And it takes a real like honoring of your own inward path of getting really truthful with yourself about where you are from a consciousness perspective, your willingness to let go of parts of your ego mind, and a desire to awake, the definition of consciousness, the state of being awake and aware of one's surroundings. And the reality is that while we're on this journey of being in human form, we're going to constantly being awakening. Like I haven't graduated. You haven't graduated. We are all consistently here to do our deeper work so that we can continue to peel off the layers, to awaken higher, to see through the veil of the noise and the chaos and the dissonance. We all know and feel and see there is so much dissonance. There is so much chaos. There is so much noise right now in today's entire world. And I believe with every ounce of my being that there is an awakening going on. There is so much dissonance and chaos because there is at this very same time so many more humans waking up to their own spiritual path, waking up to their own consciousness, waking up to their own truth and desire to raise their frequency and to elevate their experience. Now, if you're listening to all of this going, Heidi, this is amazing, awesome, it sounds great, it's something that I'm interested in, but how does this actually affect me getting the thing that I desire? Okay. So the reason why the desire is important, the reason why the physical manifestation is important is because we are here in a human body. If you look up the Latin root of the word desire, it is a wish, it is a longing for, it is a demand, it's an expectation, and it also talks about the awaiting what the stars will bring. I love this. I love this piece. Because the energetics of the expectation, that energetic alone will support you in raising your frequency when you expect it. Right? You know that that thing that you are thinking about, wishing for, longing for, wanting, it's okay to want and long. You're in human form. Like we're meant to have a longing. And then we're also meant to await for what the stars will bring. And there's that beautiful piece of spiritual enlightenment, of trusting that the stars, the moon, the angels, the guides, right? Like they've got you. And that's where I'm talking about that energetic piece, that thing that you can't see, touch, feel, or smell. But my goodness, you know it's there. And when you get quiet, and when you get real, and when you go into a deeper meditation, when you stop the noise and you turn down the craziness of the world and you go inward, you feel it. You feel it. And that is the journey that I am on. And that's the tribe. That's the tribe that I want to play with and to surround myself with, is all of you listening to this right now and going, yeah, I want more of that. I want more of that deeper inward experience because I know that that's the truth. I know that that is more true than what I'm believing on the news or my anger at my partner or the frustration that I have with that I haven't started my business soon enough. Like, yes, Yes, all of that is happening. Yes. But what's also happening is that there is something wanting to birth inside of you. There is more that's wanting to come out. There's more alignment and truth and a higher frequency and vibration. And when you are so kind of in your own intimate experience of that happening and that churning and that burning inside of you, those other things start to come in. Those other things start to manifest. Those other things start to not be as important. That abundance that you desire, it's already inside of you. The consciousness, the willingness, the frequency, it's available to you now, completely separate of what's happening in your environment. So if this is something that you want to kind of continue going into, continue talking about, manifestation, how to call in more abundance, how to call in more wealth, how to call in more joy in this moment, not someday, sometime out there in the future, but now. We're about to roll out another online retreat. For those of you that have done this before, you know that these 5 days are absolutely incredible. So for any of you that are new to me and my work, welcome. This is called Manifesting Abundance Online Retreat. And for 5 days straight, I'm going to be going live at 10 a.m. Pacific. It's 1 p.m. Eastern. There are people from all over the world, Australia, New Zealand, the UK, different parts of Europe. We've got people from everywhere that tune into this, Canada, Mexico, South America, like honestly, all over the world. Thousands of women come together for this 1 week experience. And the vibration is so high. Simply by tuning in, tapping in, turning on this live, this experience, this retreat, you're going to feel your frequency raise just by being in the vortex, by coming into the circle. So I want to just go over with you guys the 5 days. I'm going to be teaching on different topics every day. The first day, I'm actually going to be talking more about this topic of conscious versus ego manifesting and how to really know when are you in your ego and when are you in a state of a higher consciousness, and how can you kind of constantly attune to a higher frequency. The second day is we're going to be talking about the foundations of spiritual psychology and the difference between the goal line and the soul line. The third day, I'm going to be talking about living from an abundant mindset and elevating your wealth consciousness. So that day 3 is all about the money day and the abundance day. Day 4 is called Becoming Magnetic, how to become masterful at pulling in and manifesting the things that you desire from a conscious perspective. And day 5, I'm going to be talking more about advanced manifestation techniques. So if you've done this with me before, these are actually new topics. It's a new retreat. I am constantly elevating myself. And as you know, I kind of just open myself up to channel what is coming through, which absolutely changes every season, every 6 months, every year. Please come and join us again. You will benefit from doing it over if you've done it before. And I can't wait to be with you guys. You can go to heidistevens.co/retreat in order to sign up for this incredible retreat. We're starting this very, very soon. We're going to open up the sacred circle of this Facebook group prior to the retreat starting. So get yourselves in now, get yourselves formulated. I've got a gift for you when you come in. I've got this gorgeous, gorgeous meditation that you can start immediately. And I can't wait to be with you live for these 5 days. All right. Have the most wonderful rest of your day, your week, and I'll see you very soon with the Manifesting Abundance online retreat. Bye for now.